Well, Mike Weir, 2008 has come to a close. I think you have one more event with Tiger. But I ask you this question at the end of every year, and how would you rate your year?
I'd rate it as a good year. It was very consistent. I was very happy with the way I played from kind of middle of summer on. And it was very consistent, which I wanted to do and want to be. That's how you're going to get victories, is being consistent, being in contention more, which I did. A little disappointed I didn't get a win this year, but at the same time, I think that's going to happen as long as I keep doing what I'm doing. So got a nice off season here that I'm going to be able to just rehab, get feeling good, so I start next year fresh and ready to go, kind of like I did in 2002 for 2003. I took a extended time away, the longest time I'd ever taken away. And with that, my attitude was just great. I was excited to play, and that's what I hope to accomplish this year, is just to get rested, get healthy, and when I start the year, just be really ready to go, even if my games just might be a little rusty at the start. Like, you can overcome that pretty quickly. It's just being really ready for the grind of a whole year out there, and you got to be ready at the start.
You said you played better in the second half of this year. Was the first half still a bit more of the learning of the swing, not so much learning, but the ingraining of it?
I think so. I think maybe I may have been a little more technical than what I needed to be in the beginning of the year. Still thinking I need to think about a number of things when I didn't need to. And maybe a bit of a turnaround was, no knock on Rich Gordon, but I started working with Bob Rotella, and just maybe a fresh approach mentally to what I need to work on. And he encouraged me to take time off when I was off, to really not grind as much as what I had been doing, and that seemed to pay off. I didn't. It's funny, sometimes you try less and better things happen. That's kind of what happened.
Well, that's tough to tell yourself, isn't it? I mean, I know you're not all consumed by golf, but certainly golf, you're always thinking about it. Probably you're always kind of thinking, what can I do better? Is that the tough thing to break?
It is. Number of times I wake up in the night sometimes, and I have a little facility in my basement. I'll think of something, and I'll be down there, just trying to make it that much more efficient. That's the pursuit for me. I mean, that'll always be there, I think, but it's just doing it in the right amount. There's nothing wrong with trying to get better, but sometimes to break that mentality when you're playing and just accept kind of what you have right now is tough for me sometimes. And I've always been a player. It's I'm not I wasn't born with the greatest natural ability. So I've always been a guy who's had to work really hard on his game, and I enjoy doing that. So, but with doing that, it's easy to fall into that, just constantly working on it.
The majors this year, you made the cut in all four of them, I know that, but how would you sum up your season in the majors?
Well, I'm having a tough time thinking about it right now, so obviously it wasn't that great. I know I did make the cut on all of them, and in the U.S. Open I was there, and had a somewhat of a disappointing day Sunday. And the other majors, I just played steady. Nothing was fantastic. I was a little disappointed in the PGA because I felt like I was playing well going in there. I just never got started, and that was disappointing there. So it was overall okay in the majors. I mean, it wasn't anything special. Hoping to next year do a much better job.
That is how you judge your year, I think, in a lot of cases. Obviously winning, but winning majors, correct?
Yeah, I do want to, definitely want to win those. And maybe I see them maybe a little bit differently as I get older. The other tournaments mean maybe more than maybe when I was a little younger, because any win is great. And but the majors, yes, I do want to perform better in them next year, and hopefully I will.
One tournament you had a great performance in, RBC Canadian Open, a solid under soggy conditions. Mm-hmm. That tournament, I know we've talked about this, but it certainly had some new life in it. Did you feel that as a player?
I did. I thought it was a significant upgrade in the quality of the event. I think the players, the quality of the field was better. We had a lot of the young guys, which was great. It's great to have Anthony Kim up there, and young guy Ches Reavie won the event and played great golf. So I'm excited with RBC's commitment there. And for myself, I've played Glen Ivy pretty well the last couple times, so that's exciting to go back there again, actually. So kind of figuring out how to play that place a little bit better. So maybe we'll get it one of these years.
Is there something down the future, though, that you look at the Canadian Open and you say, we can even do it a little bit better? I mean, it's obviously in a tough date right now. Yeah. And it's tough for you guys because you have to go through that stretch. I mean, you've got an extra week this year, but you have a long stretch there. That makes it tough for you guys.
It is a tough stretch. It's in a tough date. I know Jim Little, and Steve Marshman have been talking to the commissioner and trying to work on that date, because it's a tough one. I mean, I've always thought of the Canadian Open moving around the country, a national championship, and it's hard in that date to move out west. It really is, just with coming off the British Open and knowing what the players have ahead. So but you know, in my books, it's always up there as one of the best events, and you know, it's going to take time, but I think at least they went a step in the right direction this year.